Previously on NYPD Blue.
I know people move around. I know people retire. There's just something about this place and these people.
What are you gonna do?
Put in for a transfer.
Here's to you guys, and here's to the guy who invented this job.
Here's to you, Greg.
Here's to you, buddy.
Commanding this squad, teaching them, keeping them out of harm's way. That's my last job. I don't want to go anywhere from there.
You want this job?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Don't make me regret this.
Morning.
Hey,
What we got?
name's Pamela Wyatt. Banged up pretty bad. Looks to be strangled, too.
Doesn't look like a robbery from what they left behind.
There's more in the dressing room. A bunch of furs in the closet.
You must know it all.
Just looking around while I was waiting.
How'd the job come in?
The doorman. Name's James Fitzgerald. He's in there.
James?
Yeah.
How'd it happen you come in the apartment?
Miss White was supposed to get the windows washed today. Last time they made a mess. So I promised her I'd personally move the orchids away from the windows and put the birds in a safe place. That's what I came up to do.
Well, what do you know about her?
Very nice person. Generous, considerate. I liked her. I liked her a lot.
You know what she did for a living?
I guess it doesn't matter who knows what now, right? She was a hooker.
How'd you know that?
Guys come up to see her, go up to the apartment, come back down an hour later. Different guys every day.
Anything stand out about any of them?
Other than that, they were obviously high rollers. Not really. There was one who was here a lot. Probably 60. He'd get driven up in a black Mercedes. The driver waited out front while he was up there.
Can you describe him?
Gray hair, kind of big. Could have been a banker or a lawyer. Never said but 2 words to me. This was a class lady, being a hooker aside.
Thanks.
What do you got?
Looks to be like a high-priced call girl.
Yeah, the doorman called in the job. Building manager's on his way in.
What are you doing out of uniform?
Talk to building management, find out who's paying her rent.
They're not in yet. You know, I thought once we cleared Bell's shooting, you were gonna go back to patrol.
Tell him already.
Chief of detectives gave me the squad.
When?
Last night at Medavoy's racket.
You didn't say anything there?
I wanted to make sure that Duffy didn't change his mind, and I didn't want to take away from Medavoy's night.
A message came through this morning that it was a done deal.
Wait, so you're actually squad commander?
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Gruden.
Not sure I can work with you.
No, huh?
I'm not sure any of us can.
Well, that'll work out good then, because I was planning on bringing in my own people anyways.
I saw the message about you being made squad commander.
Oh, yeah?
I just want to tell you how happy it makes me.
Does that mean you'll be staying?
If you want me to.
I do.
Excuse me. I'm Ray Quinn. This is Joe Slovak. We just got transferred over here. I come from anti-crime.
I'm from Brooklyn South, narcotics.
Sipowicz, welcome to the 15th squad.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Laura Murphy.
Ray Quinn.
Hi.
Ray Quinn.
Nice to meet you.
That's John Clark. This big guy here is Baldwin Jones.
We've already introduced ourselves to one another.
I hope you guys don't mind. We jumped on that phone dump that you requested.
Yeah? What'd you come up with?
Well, over the last 24 hours, the only calls that came into your DOA came from a number belonging to a Patrick Wyatt in Wantagh,
Yeah, that's the father.
a Rosemary Wyatt on Eldridge Street, and a Tashira Nakata on East 49th Street. He called 3 times.
There's a Johnny Nakata in her appointment book from yesterday.
On a chance we'll get lucky, why don't you see if you can find him? Murphy and Ortiz, take a ride out and talk to the parents.
Now, who's the boss here?
Hey, how you doing there, Chief?
I can't believe they gave you a squad.
Go figure, right?
Now, this is Robert Heilbrenner. I'm his director of security now. And this is Basil Greenhouse, his attorney. I was Andy Sargent back in the 2-5.
What can we do for you guys?
Mr. Heilbrenner would like to talk to you about the homicide from this morning.
Sure. John, why don't you and Baldwin come in with us?
Oh, we'd like to talk privately.
These are the guys that caught the case.
That's okay.
All right, Quinn, Slovak, run down where that guy is, see if you can talk to him.
Hey, how long you guys been in the bureau?
It's the first day for both of us.
First day. I got my gold shield in 1974. I can remember it like it was yesterday.
What rank were you when you retired?
2-star chief.
That's great.
Well, you gotta love being a detective. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have any problem there.
Yeah. How you doing with this case?
We got a possible we're running down.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Well, I don't think we're supposed to discuss specifics.
And what's your name?
That's Quinn, Ray Quinn.
Yeah, Ray Quinn. You mind if I call you Ray?
Not at all, sir.
Pamela had been my mistress. We had been together, I guess you would say, off and on for about 8 years. I had feelings for her. She had feelings for me. And without defending my behavior or my infidelities towards my wife, I'm here to tell you that the relationship existed.
Obviously, this is said in strictest confidence.
When was the last time you saw her?
Last week. But my wife doesn't know that, and I would appreciate her not finding out about it. I had basically put an end to the relationship.
But
it was her birthday, and I bought her a small, fairly insignificant gift.
Did you know if she was seeing anybody else?
Well, no, to put too fine a point on it, but Pamela was a prostitute. She was discriminating to a degree. She was expensive, but notwithstanding her periodically proclaiming her intention to get out of that life. That is what she was.
No, we have to ask you this as a formality, sir, but can you tell us where you were last night, leading up to about 8 o'clock this morning?
Last night, my wife and I had dinner at Le Bernardin with my friend Tom Maxwell and his wife. Got home around 10. I watched a little television. I went to sleep.
And this morning?
Car picked me up a little after 7. Got to the office by 7:30.
Mr. Heilbrenner's name will inevitably come up during the course of your investigation, which is why we're here.
Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. It may sound funny, given how different we were, but her passing leaves a real hole in my heart. Whoever did this, I hope like hell you catch him.
These are detectives from the city, Pat.
We're sorry about your daughter, Mr. Wyatt.
What can we help you with?
Anything you could tell us about Pamela's friends or acquaintances would help.
We didn't know all that much about them, really.
No boyfriends you know of?
She was too busy. Between the modeling and the acting, she said she didn't have time to get involved with anyone. I'll show you something. Here, right over here. Now, this is her.
She's very beautiful.
She bought her father a bunch of power tools that he hasn't so much as taken out of the box yet. She bought me a TV. She seemed like she was doing very well.
When's the last time you saw her?
Oh, when was it, Pat?
I couldn't tell you.
Like I said, she was so busy with career stuff.
Enough, Jeannie.
What? I'm just saying.
You're just saying nonsense. You got a fairy tale story you don't believe yourself and a box of old pictures from 100 years ago. Talk to a sister you want to find out about her. All we got is a box of old junk.
If you could give us her sister's number, we'll leave you guys.
I'll get it.
We'll wait with your wife so she's not by herself.
Is there Johnny Nakata here? Thanks.
Mr. Nakata?
Yeah?
Wonder if maybe we could talk to you for a minute.
Who are you?
Well, the police, that's who we are.
What do you want to talk to me about?
If maybe you could step outside with us.
Hey, guy, I'm not stepping anywhere with anybody. Let's get her.
Do you know someone named Pamela Wyatt?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Your name was found in her address book, and your phone number was found in her cell phone.
She lives on 5th Avenue, between 9th and 10th.
Don't know anybody who lives over there. Can't help you.
You frequented any prostitutes lately, Mr. Nakata?
Gonna arrest me, guy?
No.
That's too bad. I'd like to see your face when they tell you I have diplomatic immunity. It's gonna be your ass.
Nobody's arresting anybody.
Then turn around, walk out same way you come in, guy. I don't like to be bothered when I'm sitting down to eat. Right now, you're bothering me.
We're gonna verify your diplomatic immunity. Thanks for your help.
in. We can talk back here.
Your father said you might know more than they did about people your sister hung around with.
That's not hard, considering they didn't know anything at all. Your sister was a prostitute. And a pill junkie. And a crybaby. And a great softball pitcher when she was in high school. She was all those things.
Did you ever meet any of her clients?
I met Heilbrenner, but he wouldn't want to be called a client.
What was your impression of the kind of relationship they had?
Sick. He was into beatings. He made her do threesomes. He wanted her to keep being a prostitute and then tell him the details. I hated him.
Do you have any idea who they may have had threesomes with?
Her name was Anne Marie. I don't know her last name.
Any idea where we can find her?
No. I know she's lying low ever since she got busted.
What'd she get busted for?
She propositioned a cop outside the Mercer Hotel. It's funny, you know. Pamela wanted to keep that part of her life such a secret. At the same time, she wanted me to know all about it. I think when I moved back into the city, she realized how much she wanted to have a sister. Excuse me.
Thanks. That was Ortiz. His sister gave the name of a pros who used to have threesomes with the DOA and Heilbrenner.
He's a regular rock star, this guy.
Yeah. There's no last name, but her first name's Anne Marie, and she took a call in the 5th precinct sometime last month.
Why don't you and me take a ride out there, see if we can take a look at the paperwork? There he is.
My name's Dale St. John. I'm supposed to see either a Detective Clark or Jones.
They just left. Maybe one of the other detectives can help you?
Yeah, I'm Robert Heilbrenner's driver.
Why don't you come back in here with us?
Right this way. You drove Mr. Heilbrenner last night?
Yeah.
Where'd you drive him?
Well, I picked up Mrs. Heilbrenner at around 7:45. Drove her to La Bernardin on West 51st Street. Waited outside the restaurant till probably 9:30, and when they both came out, I drove them back to their apartment on 5th Avenue and 76th Street.
What time did you pick up Mr. Heilbrenner this morning?
7:15.
Let's talk about Pamela Wyatt. She and Mr. Heilbrenner get along?
Yeah.
No arguments?
None that I saw. I mean, I'm not supposed to pay too close attention to what's going on in the back seat, but from what I could tell, they were usually holding hands, you know, whispering to each other. They were like a couple on a date.
Did you ever drive Pamela by yourself?
A few times.
She would call you?
And he would.
Why would he do that?
When Mr. Heilbrenner called me to pick her up, it was because she was messed up on dope, and he just wanted to make sure she got home safe.
Where would you pick her up from?
Restaurants, bars.
Did she ever indicate when you pick her up where she was getting the dope from or who she might have been with?
She just thanked me. Curl up under her coat and go to sleep.
When did she die?
Last night sometime.
How good a friend were you?
Talk on the phone a couple times a week, go to the movies once in a while.
You don't seem that upset.
You get guys off your money, you take your chances.
Any idea who she might have been taking her chances with?
With all of them. You remind them of their mothers, their daughters. Suddenly you got some naked rhino with his legs around your neck.
That ever happened with Robert Heilbrenner?
What makes you think I know him?
Well, we have information that you participated in threesomes with him and Pamela Wyatt.
Yeah, well, your information's wrong.
You need to tell us what you know about him, Anne-Marie.
I need to keep myself alive. That's what I need to do. And that means not pissing off anyone who can hurt me.
You're out on bail. You make your living as a prostitute. Think what it means to piss us off.
He liked putting handcuffs on girls and whipping them with his belt. Started out fun and games, but at a certain point, you could see something in him snap. You know, he got nastier with the things he was saying, and he started whipping us harder. Hard enough so we started bleeding.
Was that the only time you participated?
Yeah, I didn't want the money that bad.
How did Pamela feel about him?
Well, there was a time when I think she was in love with him, or, you know, maybe just in love with the things that he could provide for her. She told me that he was gonna leave his wife for her. You know, I said, Pamela, honey, you're not the type of guy that does that. And she said, no, Anne-Marie, you're wrong. You know, he doesn't want to lose me. And then he dumped her.
Why was that?
Because his wife threatened to divorce him.
How did she take it?
Pretty bad. She said she was going to get him to make good on his promise no matter what.
looking for Sergeant Sipowicz?
Yeah.
I'm Inspector Dowdell with Intelligence. This is Agent Holloway with the FBI, Christopher Perkins from the State Department, and Lieutenant Clifford also with Intelligence. Why don't we go into your office?
The office is kind of a mess. Why don't we go down here?
It's been a development in the Wyatt homicide. Mr. Perkins will fill you in.
The State Department was contacted by the Japanese consulate and informed that a Toshiro Nakata has taken responsibility for the death of Pamela Wyatt. I have a signed affidavit from Mr. Nakata confessing to the murder.
Where is he?
Because Mr. Nakata is a credentialed member of the Japanese mission to the United Nations, he enjoys full diplomatic immunity. As we speak, he's on his way back to Japan.
We'll leave this with you. Gentlemen, I'll meet you outside.
Boy, parking tickets are one thing, but for this guy to get away with murder?
I know just how you feel. However, one PP still knows it was a result of aggressive police work by members of your squad.
I'll pass that along.
He was interviewed earlier this morning, right?
Yeah, a couple of my guys went down there and talked to him. Actually, they're rookie detectives. It's their first day in the bureau.
Well, you tell those guys that they're shaking the trees what brought this about, and they're going to get a letter of commendation from the PC.
I will.
Also, not too shabby for your first day as squad commander.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about this confession?
What do you mean?
Does it seem legit?
What'd you think when you talked to the guy?
Wouldn't give us the time of day.
Well, what bothers me is I was starting to like Heilbrenner for it.
You were?
He was a sadistic prick. He's got this whole bizarre thing going where the girl's trying tricks, then telling him about it.
And she's looking to hold him up.
And the guy backing up his alibi works for him.
Yeah, we probably need to tell you guys this. When we were talking to Angelotti before, he was pumping us for information.
Now, what'd you give him?
Nakata's name.
Him being a retired chief and asking us, he made it seem like it wasn't that big a deal.
Andy, you got a minute? Andy, I know we got this confession. I'm sure everybody's happy with the case cleared, but just a couple of things that make me feel like maybe we ought to continue with the investigation.
Like what?
Well, for one thing, this Heilbrenner's a hitter.
That don't make him a killer.
Yeah, that's true, although he had a pretty twisted relationship with his girl.
What else?
All right, for this Japanese guy to completely dumb me up this morning when the two new guys went to go talk to him, and then like 3 hours later, he gives up a full confession, doesn't seem right.
You saying Heilbrenner got to him?
I don't know. What I do know is that this Angelotti guy was working those guys when we were in the room here with Heilbrenner and his lawyer.
They gave him Nakata's name?
Andy, I wouldn't go too hard on him. You know, they're new guys. He's a retired chief.
Keep it open.
Yeah?
It's your case. You want to continue with the investigation, continue with the investigation.
That might piss off a few people.
Let me worry about that.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes?
You were having lunch with Johnny Nakata today.
Okay.
We'd like to talk to him.
What do you need to talk to me about?
About Johnny.
Johnny's the Japanese consulate. He's full immunity, okay?
Do you?
No.
I think you should get in the car. Come on.
Sit over here.
How long have you known him?
2 years.
Were you dating?
What's the difference?
A girl was killed.
I don't know anything about this girl.
No one's saying you do.
Because we're investigating her killing, we need to know some things about the people involved.
I wasn't involved.
Johnny was, though.
Yeah, okay.
Did you know Johnny went to prostitutes?
No. I didn't know that. You think I would have been with him if I knew that?
Was he ever violent?
Never. Not one time.
Must have come as a shock to find out he strangled this girl.
You spend time together, you sleep together, then you find this thing out. It was like he was a total stranger. You could say that's a shock.
Was he a drug user? A heavy drinker?
No.
Was he a gambler?
I don't have anything bad to say about him, okay? You want to find out about him, talk to his family.
He has family in this country?
He has an uncle. Maybe he knows something I don't know.
Can I offer you something? Coffee? Cup of tea?
Nothing for me, Mrs. Halbrenner. I'm good.
Thank you, Maggie. I'm not sure I know why you're here.
Were you with your husband last night?
I was. We had dinner together and then we came home.
What time was that?
I met him at the restaurant at 8. I'd say we were home by 10.
And he didn't go out after that?
Not until this morning when he left for work.
Does the name Pamela Wyatt mean anything to you?
The Pamela Wyatt that was my husband's mistress?
Right.
He told me she was found murdered this morning. I assume these questions are part of your investigation into that.
How did you find out about your husband's relationship with her?
There was a Chanel trunk show at Bergdorf's, which at first I wasn't going to attend, and then at the last minute I changed my mind and decided to. As I walked in, I saw Robert dropping her off. She kissed him and then proceeded to spend about $20,000 of our money on outfits for herself.
Did you confront him?
I did. I told him either he broke off all relations with her or I would divorce him.
What was his response?
Oh. At first he broke down and cried, told me how worthless he felt, how much he was afraid of dying. He was hoping I'd say, "It's all right, Robert. You can have your Pamela. I'll be fine."
You didn't do that.
Would you?
No, ma'am.
I told him I had lined up a lawyer and a forensic accountant and was prepared to start going over the books the next morning at 9 a.m.
So he promised to get rid of her?
Right.
Did he make good on that?
I believe he did.
Because he said so?
Because I watched the money. A girl like this doesn't hang around to be thrown $1,000 now and then. The kind of money she costs, I'd know if he were coming up with it.
Did he ever hit you?
Never.
Did he ever get rough with you as a means to stimulate himself sexually?
My God, no. I would never be party to such behavior, number one. Number two, it's not something that would serve as stimulation for him. He'd abhor it.
That's not necessarily the information we've been getting.
I suggest you check carefully the sources of that information. My husband is a very wealthy man who a great many people would like to take advantage of. I promise you, I will not stand idly by while his name is sullied.
Sipowicz. Yes, sir, Chief. In your office. Why don't we just go down here? The office is still in the process of getting moved into.
Fine.
What the hell are you doing?
What do you mean?
You got a confession on this homicide. Why are your detectives still working the case?
I think they felt there were some questions about the legitimacy of the confession.
Are you kidding me? It's done. The perp was a client of the DOA. You were looking at him before he confessed. Now you got a statement with all kinds of details that he did it.
But because he's got diplomatic immunity, the consequences of a false confession are a lot less.
Sergeant, that's not your business. You had an inspector from police intelligence and an FBI agent go over that confession. They were satisfied it was legitimate. Now you're telling me because you got a hard-on to lock somebody up, you got people out there bothering Robert Halbrenner's wife?
We just want to be sure we got the right guy.
We got the right guy. You heard it from me. Now this investigation is over. Is that understood?
Understood.
Good.
Well, we appreciate you coming in, Mr. Nakata.
We want to talk to you about your nephew.
What is there to talk about?
Were you close to him?
He was my family.
Were you aware of his frequenting prostitutes?
No.
Were you aware of his ever having behaved violently towards women?
No.
What about gambling?
My nephew was an outstanding student in Japan. He received a graduate degree from London School of Economics. He had a trusted position with the Japanese mission to the United Nations. He's always been a considerate and respectful nephew.
Did he gamble?
He has confessed to murder. What does it matter if he gambled?
It may have something to do with why he confessed.
And we're not convinced he actually did what he confessed to doing.
Why would he have confessed then? Why would he have brought this kind of shame on his family?
Mr. Nakata, did your nephew have gambling debts?
That's not something he would discuss with me. Not after the last time.
The last time for what?
He owed a man money from having bet on horse races. He was afraid if he did not pay him that he would get hurt, that the man would cause him embarrassment at work. $35,000 I paid.
Who was the man?
I only knew him as Mr. Siegel.
Howard Siegel? Takes book at the back of a dry cleaners?
Yes.
They said the footpost where that dry cleaners is.
Does the name Robert Heilbrenner mean anything to you?
My nephew introduced me to him at a restaurant one time.
What did he tell you about him?
He told me that he was a powerful and influential man, that he might one day take his diplomatic experience and go to work for him.
Hey, stranger. How you doing, John? Great.
Hey, Greg.
I was just showing an apartment in the neighborhood. I thought I'd stop by.
Why? You didn't waste any time getting started with the new job, did you?
No, I didn't.
Hey, Metaboy, how's it going?
Aren't you going back downstairs?
Andy's the new squad commander.
That's great, Andy. Well deserved.
Thanks.
Hey, look who's here.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, partner.
Hey, it turns out Nakata has a history of going in the hole for betting opponents.
Who was he betting with?
Howard Siegel's the bookie his uncle bailed him out with the last time. But he also told us that Nakata knew Heilbrenner.
Go talk to Heilbrenner's driver again. See how committed he is to that alibi. And why don't you guys go talk to the bookie? Find out if the marker's been paid.
Grab this.
You guys just transferred in?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, stick with this guy. He'll tell you everything you need to know.
Hey, it's good to see you, buddy. I'm sorry, I gotta run, all right? I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Squad commander.
Yeah. Guys, run Heilbrenner through DMV. Get the plate numbers off any cars registered to him or members of his family. Metaboy, I gotta run downstairs.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Boy, when you're gone, you're gone.
15 squad.
How's it going, Howard?
I know you ladies.
We're detectives. What can you tell us about Johnny Nakata, Howard?
What makes you think I can tell you anything?
Did you take any action from him?
I'm retired from all that.
You know why we're here, Howard?
Trying to find this Johnny something.
We're investigating a homicide. We don't care about the bookmaking. Except that if you're gonna lie to us, we'll be all over you. There's a bunch of young cops in Vice, get paid for 40 hours a week. They'll make your life miserable for the next 5 years.
This stays between us.
As long as you had nothing to do with the homicide.
What do you want to know about him?
Did he put down for a bet or two?
The Japanese bet bicycle races. They bet motorboat races. Forget about it when they get their noses open with horses. This guy was crazy even for them.
What was he India for?
110,000. 6 months ago, he hit the trifecta at Arlington, paid $27.01. He walked away with $40,000, and believe me, I was only too happy to pay him.
Because then he started to lose.
And this after having to get bailed out by his uncle the first time.
How hard you lean on him?
What am I gonna do? It's not a student loan. I told him it's a serious number, and he has to make restitution.
Did he?
Just today. He came in with 110,000 cash just before noon.
Thanks, Oscar. Anytime.
Hey, where you going?
What? Want to talk to you. Where are the other guys?
They're tied up.
Well, they already talked to me, though.
Yeah, we just gotta straighten out a couple details.
Well, I'm working now, guys.
Oh, why? So you coming out now?
No, I just gotta get the car washed, gotta get gas. Mr. Halpern needs me back here at 6:30. He and his wife have a formal affair to attend.
Ah, we'll have you back by then.
Got a choice?
No, not really.
Want me to follow you?
Well, how about you let me chauffeur you? Get up. I like this.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Ever know Heilbrenner to go at girls a little hard? Smack them around a little bit?
Yeah, I'm his driver. I did double date with the guy.
We know that he did.
Different strokes for different folks, right?
He used to whip Pamela with his belt.
Well, like I told those other guys, the two of them seemed to be into each other, so whatever he did, he couldn't have been hurting her too bad.
Mrs. Heilbrenner found out about Pamela.
I don't know anything about that.
She and her husband never had out in the car.
Well, like I told the other guys, I try not to pay attention to what's going on in the back seat.
You see, Dale, here's the thing. Heilbrenner pays you a good salary. takes care of your family, and you want to be a loyal employee to him, and that's fine. But the problem is we think that he killed this girl, and you're helping him cover it up.
And that takes it way beyond being a loyal employee, Dale. That puts it under the heading accessory after the fact.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
You know what accessory after the fact means, Dale?
That means you go to prison along with him.
Now, the decision you have to make is whether or not you're going to get taken down with him.
No, I don't need this. I mean, I got a wife, I got a kid, got another one on the way, and I don't need this.
Tell us what happened.
I got a phone call around 4 o'clock in the morning. He was at her apartment. He told me to be downstairs as fast as I could get there. When he came out of the building, I could see right away that something was wrong.
Why?
Because he was white and shaking. He told me to take him to his office and go upstairs and get him a change of clothes while he waited in the car.
Why did he need a change of clothes?
I could see in the mirror that he had blood on him.
And he told you what to say when you were questioned?
He said he was gonna take care of me for life. Me and my family. I told him I didn't know what happened in the apartment, but it bothered me to lie like that. He said what happened in the apartment was an accident.
Why didn't he say it was an accident?
I asked him that. He said people wouldn't understand.
We're going to need to take a statement from you.
Yeah, whatever you gotta do. I keep seeing that girl's face every time I close my eyes. I don't want to see it no more.
What's going on?
Mr. Heilbrenner, we're placing you under arrest for the murder of Pamela Wyatt.
You must be kidding.
We're not.
What is it? Someone down at the department has a vendetta against me that I don't know anything about?
If you cooperate with us, we'll put the handcuffs in front so you can cover them with your coat.
You're not cuffing me anywhere, dear.
Yeah, we are. This time the handcuffs are going on you.
I am going to have my lawyer down here in about 30 seconds flat.
Your lawyer can meet us at the precinct.
What's going on?
These idiots, they think they're going to arrest me.
For what?
Your husband can tell you.
Like Detective Ortiz said, we're willing to put him on the front. Give us a hard time to going on the back.
I don't understand what's going on, Robert.
You just call Greenhouse. Tell him to meet me. Where are we going?
15th Precinct.
I want to know what you're arresting him for.
It's for the murder of the girls, Alicia.
I thought someone already confessed to that.
Someone did.
Hi, Lieutenant.
John?
How are you feeling?
Well enough to gather up my things.
Can I help you?
That's all right. I'd rather do it myself.
He's here. Hey, Sergeant.
You all right, Bob? I'm fine, Basil. Just take care of it.
I'd like to see my client alone.
You gonna allow him to give us a statement?
You gotta be kidding.
In that case, you can meet him in court.
Hey, you're not gonna give them 5 minutes? Not now. You want, you can get it on record with the desk officer you were here.
We'll start at the 5s.
Put him in handcuffs in front of his wife?
We had no choice.
No? How about picking up the phone and calling me? What about letting me bring him in?
What do I do when he jumps on the plane? He keeps out of Teterboro and skips down to Costa Rica.
You could have had me as a friend. Instead, you have me as an enemy. And for what? A dead pros.
Whatever it is you're gonna do to me, Chief, right now I got work to do. How you feeling, Lieutenant?
Not bad. How you feeling?
In the office.
When I was in here earlier today, what did I tell you I wanted done? There were some loose ends in the investigation that had to be run down. Answer the question. What did I tell you to do? Close the case. Did you do it?
We were getting information I thought was worth pursuing.
Did you call me and let me know that?
No, sir.
Did you call the borough?
No, sir.
Did you call anybody in the off chance I may find out what's going on?
Things are jumping off pretty fast. I hadn't gotten to it yet.
Oh, you hadn't gotten to it yet? Letting me know is the first thing you get to.
With all due respect, sir, I told you I thought that there were questions about the legitimacy of the confession.
And did you make your case to me about what those questions were?
I tried.
You tried?
That's right. And since I didn't appear to be getting anywhere, I decided to continue the investigation on my own initiative. I'm sorry, but I think my first obligation was to work the case according to the evidence that we were coming up with.
Now, your first obligation is to make sure I don't find out what happens in my command on the 6 o'clock news. You get that, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Now, I put you in this job. Already, I regret it. You embarrass me again, you're gonna regret it.
ComStat files are on the shelf.
When are we up for review?
A week from tomorrow. Thinking about taking a footpost in the Midtown Tunnel? It's a shaky perch you're on, Sergeant. You have to answer to the people above you, look after the people below you, and you have to be able to live with yourself.
What are my chances?
As far as the last two go, I'd say they're decent. Good luck with the first one.
Thanks.
It's all yours.
Sarge.
Okay.
We're sorry if we loused anything up.
Don't worry about it. Everything came out fine.
Not exactly thanks to us.
You're gonna make good detectives, guys. Give yourselves time.
Thanks.
We're real glad to be working for you, Sarge. Good night, Sergeant.
Good night, John.
Hey. Feel like celebrating?
Not tonight.
Yeah, we figured. Sometime we should celebrate, though.
Sure.
We're proud of you.
We're gonna take him down to court.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, any doubts about you running the squad, Andy? Well, today you put them all to rest.
How's it feel?
Takes some getting used to.
Not from where I'm standing.
Good work today.
Good night, boss.